ಯೋಗ ಇನ್ ವುಮನ್ ಎಂಪವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎನ್ನುವಂಥ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದಂಥ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆಲ್ ರಿನೌಂಡ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ವುಡ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಟು ಇನ್ವೈಟ್ ದ ರಿನೌಂಡ್ ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ದಿ ಡಯಾಸ್.
Seeing all the ladies seated on the dais, ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.
ಹಲೋ.
ವಿಮೆನ್, ಹೆಣ್ಣು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಣ್ಣಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ದೀಪ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನಾರಿ ಅನ್ನೋದೇ ಒಂದು ಶಕ್ತಿ. ಆ ನಾರಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ದೀಪ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಮನೆ ಸಹ. ಆದರೆ ಅದೇ ನಾರಿ ಹೆಮ್ಮಾರಿ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕೂ ಬಿಡಬಾರ್ದಲ್ವೇ? ಯೋಗ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ದಾರಿ ಉಂಟು. ಯೋಗದಿಂದ ಇಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋಂಥ ಎಲ್ಲ ಒಬ್ಬೊಬ್ಬರು ಸಹ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇವರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಕಲಿತು ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆ ಏರುಪೇರು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಲೈಫಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲೂ ಉಂಟು. ಎಲ್ಲರ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದೇ ಸಮ ಜೀವನ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೇಗೆ ನಿಭಾಯಿಸಬೇಕು, ಹೇಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಕಲಿಸ್ಕೊಡೋದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಯೋಗ. ಹೌ ಯೋಗ in women empowerment would be from your end.
Each woman in this country and of course world over are adamya chetanas, and they have that potential. Only thing now we need to recognize that potential and individually ourselves and everybody around them. And no other program is required for women empowerment, if you ask me. But how do we recognize it? How do we find it? I have to find it for myself, and the others also have to find that special potential that woman has, that adamya chetana each woman has. And I think this yoga, the one which last 20-30 years has really taken a different shape, because when I was in school, yoga was somebody with minimum clothes standing in Himalaya on one leg and or holding the nose, holding this breath for hours. That was yoga when we were in school. Now. But now it is different, and as we realize what real yoga is, many a times, some of the concepts, some of the words are never understood. Like I was saying, women are also, we are in the same stage. And the same way yoga is really now we really understanding what it is, trying to understand, trying to practice. Even a common man sitting here in Bengaluru or even in rural places, now it has been properly defined, redefined as per our requirement. Even in Bhagavad Gita they say, samatvam yoga muchyate, yoga karmasu kaushalam. And generally for my work, most of my time goes in the organizing the cooking, otherwise supporting some other events, making sure they don't generate waste. So most of it is logistics. Work. So I say yoga karmasu kaushale, and that is for yoga for me many times. And samatvam yoga muchyate. Samatvam is maintaining the consistency, sustaining, doing, balancing, and continue to do without feeling bad that nothing is working. Sometimes we feel nothing is happening. That's what when we were Vijayalakshmi and Meenakshi, we were saying how many years we attend the similar program of women empowerment. Somewhere sometimes of course when we look at women achieving so many things which were like
But the challenges that we face today, the older generation was different. But today's challenges that a lady faces, being in Bangalore is not easy. And financially, even the lady has to support her family and balance also the household work and her children, plus her mother-in-laws, plus her own parents. So how?
Always the ownership again goes to woman about everything, and it's fine, it's good. That's an empowerment. When work comes to, I always say, when work come on your shoulder, then it is empowerment. Yes. But okay, don't look it as work, look it as a power.
Yes.
When some assignment come to you think it is an work has come to my shoulder, instead of saying it is a power has come to you to do it. And that till we identify, it becomes, then we feel that we need power to execute that work. But that work itself is a power.
I request Vijayalakshmi Madam to speak on the topic and give her experience about it.
Who is empowering the woman is the first question. Is the woman empowering herself or is society empowering her? Because I see very often when people talk about women's rights, I was just in another yoga utsav yesterday, when they spoke about yoga dharma and yuga dharma. They said that in fact, in our ethos, there is no word for right. Right is a word that came from outside. What we had is responsibility. The individual always looked towards the responsibility of the community. And in that was the fulfillment. Today we stand up and say, what about me? Me cannot be unless the entire society is. So I think what we have to start understanding is if women have to be empowered, the society has to be empowered. And women are traditionally nurturers and nourishers. Because more often than not, this becomes a bias and it becomes against men. If we look at our ethos, we have an Ardhanarishwara, where both the yin and yang, if we want to call it, or the male and the female are but one. I don't mean physically, I mean mentally we have both the qualities. In some, one quality is more and the other quality is less. In some, the other quality is more and the other is less. But if we go with this activism of today's, we are fracturing society. Because what has happened is women have started to think that being a nourisher and being somebody who nurtures is backward. I hear so many youngsters, oh, I hate cooking. Oh, I changed the diaper 3 times, now you do it 3 times. That's not life. Life is where we come together and we move together. It's not about a competition of you're better or I'm better. I remember when people asked me, somebody asked me recently, oh, when you did flying, did you have any issues as a woman? I said, no, I didn't have issues as a woman. I may have issues as a person. But why do you bring this separation in society? I think we should stop that because today's world is all about divide. Our colonizers gave us this whole beautiful policy of divide and rule. So everything is about divide. It's not about divide at all. Yoga is about unity. It's about bringing together. It's about relationships. It's about developing those relationships. When we say empowerment, if we empower society,
Yes.
only an empowered man will be able to understand an empowered woman. A weak man is the one who hits back at a woman.
Very rightly said. I think Madam needs a big applause of hand. Very nicely said, ma'am. Meenakshi Madam, empowerment of women in yoga.
I think going by what Vijay ma'am said, maybe generationally I can speak a little bit because I'm also in the professional world today. I'm in IT and, we face a different kind of challenge today. That where women are forced to, this concept in everybody's mind is, I'm a superwoman. I should be able to do everything. I should be the perfect mother at home. I should be the perfect daughter-in-law. I should be the perfect daughter. I should be the perfect employee at my organization. I should be the perfect team leader. Because, the pressure that women bring on themselves, right? Because we don't want to be proven. We are scared. Elladru ondu kade elladru tappagbitre nimgenu madakagadilla anta takshana helbiಡ್ತಾರೆ. It's very easy to brand and say, that's why I told you don't do this. I told you you won't be able to do this and you did this and you went and, messed yourself up. So in this pursuit of trying to be a superwoman, a woman sometimes forgets that she is also human, right? And there are times that there will be mistakes. There will be, a point where women will fail, they will fall, they will not succeed, there will be trouble, there will be emotional problems, and you may not have the perfect marriage, you may not have the perfect kitchen, you may not know how to cook, and every day you may be getting bad reviews of your cooking. So these are all things that, causes a lot of anxiety today in young women that I see. So going back to, I'm trying to relate this back to how, a woman can prioritize, a lot of what they really want. And again, to the point where, they all spoke, it is okay. You need to prioritize and decide what is important for you and what is important for people you love around you, right? Whether it is your family, whether it is your partners, whether it is your parents, in-laws, your group that you're working for, your NGO that you're supporting, or just the neighborhood that you're living in. What is it that brings you happiness, and what is it that brings out the best in you? And do the best of what you can. This overachievement, even though Salpa Varshadinda, I have to be good at everything is a sort of a misnomer. And it's leading to people really having a lot of stress and breakdown almost. And that's where I feel the practice of something like yoga, helps you a lot. Because yoga doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do a full Purva Urdhva Dhanurasana or like a Shirasasana every day, right? Not many people have the ability or the strength to do that. But I believe the most important part of yoga today is the ability to think clearly and to be able to dispel noise from your head. What is noisy? You should just avoid, and exactly like henge now dina, we brush our teeth, we go to the toilet, and we just basically get rid of, things we don't like. That is how we should expel noise from our system. And noise can come in various ways, right? Noise can be somebody that is annoyingly telling you what you cannot do. Somebody that's annoyingly telling you what you can do, which you know you cannot do, right? So all kinds of noise is filled in a woman's head, or for that matter, any person's head. So yoga, I believe, or the practice of yoga, which is in various forms, it can be simple dhyana, it can be the asana, it can be pranayama, it can be prayer, or just a simple yogic way of life. Helps you, really make that prioritization of what is important to you, and have a very, ಒಂದು ಗುರಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು aim or some kind of focus, comes back into oneself. So I believe that's where I can bring the two together today.
So you mean to say in this busy world, you need to give yourself some time.
Absolutely.
Spend yourself some time and rethink about what is happening at home. You find the solution for yourself, just giving some calmness to your mind.
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. I would request Meena Vijayalakshmi madam to share a few words.
Today's topic, women empowerment in yoga and women empowerment. Yoga gives a woman in three-dimensional. One is physically, how we can empower, then mentally and socially. Physically, as all of you know, learned doctors along with me will agree, it gives us the flexibility of the muscles and it gives us agility. Apart from that, mentally we have seen lot of I am getting from my practice, I am getting lot of young girls are coming with PCOD, menstrual irregularities. As Dr. Neurosurgeon said, Rajshekar Reddy said, so when you go to RMP, then one more specialist and super specialist. When you reach there, they will say yoga. So I agree with him, because when they go to any regular doctor, they will prescribe some hormonal medicine, some OC pills for the PCOD. Then they refer to the specialist. Then I am being the super specialist, they come to me and I say, go and do yoga for PCODs.
Lovely.
So this is the importance. This is how you can empower a woman. how yoga can empower a PCOD girl, a small girl, school-going girl, has to swallow so many tablets, has to meet so many doctors, which is very cruel, I feel. Popping up the pills, being from allopathic medicine, I strongly against of it. Because you should treat the basic problem. What is there? Basic problem is
So
insulin
heal your body through
resistance.
yoga.
It's insulin resistance. It's because of the food, what we eat. So here we should encourage our women to eat right and teach the younger generation how to eat right and exercise. The best treatment for PCOD till now is your food and your exercise, not medicines. You should get back to your roots, learn what our ancients have done. Ma Durga, Ma Saraswati, Ma Gayatri, ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಇದೆ ಓದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಏನ್ಷಂಟ್ ಹಿಂದೂ ಕಲ್ಚರ್ನ ಒಂದು ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗಿನ ಅರ್ಧ ಕಾಯಿಲೆಗಳು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಆಸ್ ಎ
Khandita ma'am, thank you very much. Jessie ma'am, and ma'am, what made you come towards yoga and how did you start with it?
Yoga is part of your culture for thousands and thousands of years, but it is actually fairly newer in the United States that has become part of the more popular culture and more accepted culture. But what many of us has found is that we went to a gym, kind of like cult fitness, yes? And we took yoga classes there. And they were just simple asana classes, but we found that those were the things that made us start to feel better. Better in our body and better in our minds. So that was my journey as well, that I started going to these classes about 25 years ago, and I was like, oh, that other class doesn't make me feel better, but the yoga class makes me feel better. So then I wanted to continue. I did my yoga teacher trainings, and I wanted to share this with other people in the United States that maybe don't have that awareness of what yoga is and how much more it can do, that it is not a physical exercise, because that's what most people in the United
From
States
how many years
think.
are you're practicing yoga? Ma'am?
I started with the physical exercise of asana, and then I learned how much more there is. And that is what I ended up bringing into my mental health therapy practice. Was we use asana just to say, this is something maybe a little familiar. Mm-hmm. How much better do you feel? And now can we add in these other pieces? How much more do you feel well when you are breathing?
You're saying the inner feeling that you're feeling is after starting doing yoga asana, you feel better.
Yes.
And you didn't want to let that go, so you started doing it more.
More and more and more and more, and now every day.
And you're already in a chudidar, so that's lovely that you started, getting into our culture too. That's
Yes.
really lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Now we have Savita madam here. Madam, what instigated you, and how do you think yoga would empower women?
Namaste elrigu. First I want to thank everyone. I'm sharing the dais with a wonderful, successful woman. It is not an easy task. A woman will come and sit here, it's not easy. She had a lot of challenges, she had a lot of struggles. Maybe 30 years, maybe 40 years struggle, we will achieve something. So behind these all things, I'll say exactly man is there. But I will say one thing. ಯೋಗ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಪ್ರಾಣಾಯಾಮ ಯೋಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಆಸನ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದು ಮನೆಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅತ್ತೆಗೆ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಾಕ್ಬೇಕಾ, ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾ, ಅಥವಾ ಇವ್ರನ್ನ ನೋಡಬೇಕಾ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್. ಥಿಂಕ್ ಬೆಟರ್. ವೈಲ್ ಇನ್ ವಿ ಸಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಷನ್ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಮನಸ್ಸು ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿರಬೇಕು. ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಮಹಿಳೆಯ ಮನಸ್ಸು ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮನೆ ಫುಲ್ ಗಾನ್. ಅವಳು ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅದು ರುಚಿಸಲ್ಲ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಜವಾಬ್ದಾರಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವುಮನ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಮಲ್ಟಿ ಟಾಸ್ಕರ್, ಶಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಎವ್ರಿಥಿಂಗ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ದುರ್ಗೆಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಹೋಲಿಸಿರೋದು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಮನೆಯೇ ಮೊದಲ ಪಾಠಶಾಲೆ, ತಾಯಿಯೇ ಮೊದಲ ಗುರು. ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಗರ್ಭನೇ ಮೊದಲ ಪಾಠಶಾಲೆ, ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ಬೇಕು ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ. ಮತ್ತು ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಯೋಗ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಡುಗೆ ಮಾಡೋದು ಒಂದು ಯೋಗ, ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ ಮಾಡಿ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಖುಷಿಯಿಂದ ಗಂಡಂಗೆ ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದೇರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್. ಶಿ ಈಸ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಹರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟಾಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ. ಸಿ Love yourself. That is the message. For each and every woman, love
I think we need
yourself.
a big hand of applause for this because yes, this is what is required. Love yourself. If you love yourself, you'd go to a different height.
ಏನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕನ್ಸಿದ್ರು ನಿಮಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಾಡಿ. Love yourself. Once you love yourself, you can achieve anything. Anything actually. So always I say love. Yoga is, it keeps us alive. That I will say 100%. Yoga practice ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ it keeps us alive. But ಮೈಂಡ್ನ ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿ ಖಂಡಿತ, ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಮಹಿಳೆ ಅಂತೂ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೇಬೇಕು. ಅವಳು ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಮನೆ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಸೊ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಈವನ್ ನಾರಿಯೊಬ್ಬಳು ಕಲಿತಾರೆ, ಶಾಲೆಯೊಂದಂತೂ ತೆರೆದಂತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಹಾಕಿದೆ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮಹಿಳೆಯೊಬ್ಳು ಮನೇಲಿ ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಇಡೀ ಮನೆನೇ ಇದಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನೆ ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸಮಾಜನೂ ಸ್ವಸ್ಥವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕು? ಯೋಗ ಖಂಡಿತ ಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಯೋಗ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you, ma'am. Madam, all of us had a discussion here. Pranayama is required. All the men, please see that your wives, your children all do yoga at home. Encourage them in doing it. Give them self-time for themselves. That would be a great deal. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasant day today.